Guys, one sec. Guys, I'm just finishing off the simultaneous equation from the last exam. So you can see that this simultaneous equations where you have two separate equations and generally it's x and y and another number. Now we see here that this one has fractions and the trick is just to get rid of the fractions. So the lowest common denominator between 3 and 2 is 6. So we're going to turn everything into 6's, okay? So to turn everything into 6's, we need to multiply the 3 by 2. We do that top and bottom. We multiply the 2 by 3. We do that top and bottom. And then we need to multiply this is 5 over 1, which will be technically getting multiplied by 6 top and bottom. Because remember, 5 is the same as 5 over 1. When we multiply this out, we're going to get 2x plus 3y equals 30. And on the bottom, we're going to have 6's on the bottom. But these 6's don't matter because they're on both sides. So you can essentially pretend they're not there. Okay. Now, once we get to this stage, we have two equations. We have this equation here, which is the same as this one here. And then we have this equation, which we're going to put underneath, which is your 3x minus 2y equals 19. Now, once we agree upon this, we can then we can then choose a letter to get rid of. I'm going to get rid of the y's just because I think it's relatively easy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the 3y, this 3y here, I'm going to turn it into 6y, and this 2y here, I'm going to turn that into minus 6y. I can achieve that by multiplying the top equation by 2 and the bottom equation by 3. When I multiply the top equation by 2, I get 4x plus 6y equals 60. When I multiply the bottom equation by 3, I get 9x minus 6y equals 57. Now, it's going to be 13x equals 117. Now, if you enter into your calculator 117, this 13 is multiply on the left, which will make it divide on the right. And if you enter that in, you should get 9 on the calculator. The x value is 9. Then go back to one of your original equations. I'll choose the top one here and insert x equals 9. So it's going to be 3 times 9 because we're replacing this x value here with 9. 3 times 9 minus 2y equals 19. 27 minus 2y equals 19. Bring the 27 to the other side. So it's going to be minus 2y equals 19 minus 27 minus 2y equals minus 8. Multiply both sides by minus and you get 2y equals 8. Divide y by 8 by 2 and you get y equals 4. Okay, and that's that one done. Now, this one here, we're going to multiply the 5 by the bracket because there's nothing in between them. We're going to get 5x minus 10 plus 11 equals 6x minus 10. We're going to keep the 5x where it is and go minus 10 plus 11, which is plus 1, equals 6x minus 10. We're going to bring anything that has an x to the left and anything that doesn't to the right. When it crosses the equal sign, the 6x turns from a positive 6x into a minus 6x. The plus 1 turns from a plus 1 to a minus 1. And we're going to get minus 1x equals minus 11. We're going to multiply both sides by minus, and we simply get x equals 11. Okay, question 2, a number line question. So once again, the key thing to remember about inequalities is if 4 is smaller than 5, and I multiply both sides by minus 1, when I multiply both sides by minus 1, it will cause the sign to reverse as minus 4 is bigger than minus 5. So just remember that when you're doing this question, okay? Now, what we're going to do is bring the 5x to the left and the 4 to the right. So we're going to have minus 5x is less than or equal to minus 6, and the 4 changes to a minus 4. So we have minus 5x less than or equal to minus 10. I'm going to multiply both sides by minus. This means I have to change the direction of the sign. I'm going to divide both sides by 5, or the 5 is multiplication on the left, which makes a division on the right. which means it's x over 5 and x is greater than or equal to 2. Now, please remember it's x element r for this question. This means when you do your number line, what's going to happen is it's going to have to be bigger than 2, all the numbers that are bigger than 2, and include 2 as well. So to include 2, you do a filled in dot, and remember all fractions and decimals are included because it's element of r, and you shade in the line and you draw an arrow like so. If this was x element n or z, you would just have points and you wouldn't have a shaded in line. Okay, so just remember that. Now, x equals 3, this is the double bracket method, or otherwise known as our 4 lines. 2x multiplied by x is 2x squared. 2x times minus 5 is minus 10x. And then underneath, minus 3 times x is minus 3x. And minus 3 times minus 5 is plus 15. And then in the middle, you have 2x squared. You have your minus 10 minus 3, which is minus 13x. And that's your 15 there. On this one, we're going to do, there's going to be 6 lines this time. So here's the black ones. So we're going to get 8x cubed minus 12x squared, because that's 4x times minus 3x. 4x times 2 is 8x. Multiply minus 3 by 2x squared, you get minus 6x squared. Minus 3 by minus 3x is plus 9x. 2 minuses make a plus when you multiply. And then finally, minus 3 multiplied by 2 is minus 6. Make a note of the ones that are the same. You can see that the minus 12x squared and the minus 6x squared are the same. So therefore, we're going to get 8x cubed minus 18x squared. And then we got our 8x and our 9x, which is 17x, and then take away our 6 at the end. All right, let's continue on. On to question 4. This is very similar to the question we did earlier. We're going to work on the bottom number and try and make sure that it has a common factor. The common factor, once again, is 6. We're going to change all these to 6. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 2, top and bottom by 3, and this would be 12 over 1. And because I'm changing them into 6s, I have to multiply top and bottom by 6. 2 times 5x is 10x. 3 times y is 3y. 6 times 12 is 72. 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 3 again, also 6. And 6 times 1, also 6. Okay, 1 second. Now, joined by the son at the moment, so he's playing in the background as I get this done. The things I do. Now, this one's 2x minus 3y equals 24. Now, what I'm thinking about doing here, guys, is I'm thinking about targeting the minus 3y here. And if I change the yellow one into a plus 3y, I'm in business. So I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by minus 1. Now, what happens when I multiply the bottom equation by minus 1 is the following. It's going to turn into minus 2x plus 3y, and that's going to be a minus 24. When we add downwards, we're going to get 8x equals 72 take away 24, which is 48, and then divide that by 8. So it's going to be 48 divided by 8, and then we're going to get our x value of 6. Grab this x value of 6 and choose one of the original 2 equations. I'm going to choose the top one. This is the one I'm going to choose, okay? Exactly. Now, so what we're going to do is anywhere we see the x, we're going to replace it with 6. So it's technically 2 times 6 minus 3y equals 24. That's 12 minus 3y equals 24. Bring that 12 to the other side, and we're going to get minus 3y. Sorry about the 3y there. Been told my y's are not the best looking. Minus 3y is 24 minus 12. Minus 3y equals 12. Multiply both sides by minus. 3y equals minus 12. And y equals minus 4. 6 and minus 4 respectively. Question 5. is a question where we have 34 coins. Let x be the number of 5-cent coins. Let y be the number of 10-cent coins. The number of 5-cent coins plus the number of 10-cent coins is 34. Now, if I was to say to you that I have 7 5-cent coins, you'd multiply 7 by 5 to get 35 cents. Now, if I don't have 7 5-cent coins, but I have x 5-cent coins, you still do the same thing. You still multiply and you get 5x. Just tells you how much your 5-cent coins are worth. And it's the same for the 10-cent coins. If you have y 10-cent coins, you multiply the number of coins you have by the value per coin, and that tells you how much your total amount of coins is worth. And that's why we have 10y for that. And we're going to convert €2.40 into cents to get 200 and. Okay. Now, I'm going to do this really quickly. I'm going to multiply the top equation by minus 10. Actually, no, we'll go minus 5. I'll get rid of the x's. What the heck? So it's going to be minus 5x minus 5y. 5 times 34 is minus 170. And lo and behold, I'm going to get 5y equals 70. Divide 70 by y, and y is going to equal 14. So I have 14 10-cent coins, which is €1.40. And that means if there's 14 of these coins are 10 cents, that means the other 20 coins must be 5 cents. If I multiply 5 cents by 20, I'll have €1. And €1 plus my 140 gives me my €2.40. So that's how I now have the correct answer. X is equal to 10. So x equals 20 and y equals 14. Okay, question 6 should be somewhere down here. A bit of factorizing, this won't take long. All right, so what we're going to do is 8 times 3 is minus 24. Write a list of numbers. We can have one of them has to be negative and the other one has to be positive. Okay, sorry, that's the same thing. So one of them has to be negative and the other one has to be positive. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Because the two numbers multiplied by each other have to give you minus 24. Now, which combination, when you add them, gives you minus 10x? Well, that'd be this one here. So we're going to expand this out to 8x squared. What's it? Minus 2x plus 12x minus 3. We're just breaking up the 10x in the middle. Now, what's in common with 8 and 2? Well, 2 divides into 2 and 8. So we can take out 2x. And now what we have left over is 4x, because 2x multiplied by 4x is 8x squared. 2x multiplied by minus 1 is minus 2x. It's the same bracket twice. That's what we learned. What number multiplies by 4x to give you 12x? That would be 3. So plus 3 here. 3 times 4x is 12x, and 3 times minus 1 is minus 3. And your answer is 2x plus 3 and 4x minus 1. Happy days. Now, the next, you can multiply back out your answer to check it if you want. The next one is 7 times 6 is minus 42. Two numbers that multiply to give you minus 42 but add to give you minus 19. Let's find out. We have minus 1 and 42. We have minus 42 and 1. We have 2 and minus 21, or minus 2 and plus 21. I think I've hit lucky here already, because I think 2 minus 21, oh thank you, I think 2 minus 21 is minus 19. Okay, so we're going to get 7x squared minus 21x plus 2x minus 6. Factorize out 7 because it divides into 7 and 21. So 7x multiplied by x is 7x squared. 7x multiplied by minus 3 is minus 21x. And then 2 into x minus 3 is 2x minus 6. And then lo and behold, it's 7x plus 2 and x minus 3 is your answer. And that is question 6 done. Finally, we have 7 and 8 left over. Let's do this. This one here is the difference of two squares. I identify it by the fact that it's only two parts, part 1, part 2, and there's a minus in between. I quickly change 9x squared into 3x 2b squared because 3x multiplied by 3x is in fact 9xx, which is 9x squared. Take away 2 squared. Now the way we do this is it's the first one plus the second one, and then the second one take away the first one. And if you aren't sure about this answer, multiply it back out, and you get 9x squared minus 6x plus 6x, and then 2 times minus 2 is minus 4. The middle 6 minus 6x and plus 6x cancels, and it gives you back the original answer. Okay, so that's how you know to do that one. Now, on the next one here, what we have is this is going to be 5a to be squared minus 9b to be squared, which is going to be 5a plus 9b and 5a minus 9b. Happy days. Same thing, multiply it back out and it'll work. The third question is a bit tougher, as there's a number you can take out in common. You can take out 3, and you're going to be left with 3 equals x squared minus 9y squared. And if you look at this part just on its own, the x squared and minus 9y squared, you could change that into x squared minus 3y to be squared, because 3y multiplied by another 3y is in fact 9yy, which is 9y squared. Then we do the difference of two squares again, which is x plus 3y and x minus 3y. And lo and behold, our answer can turn into 3 times x plus 3y and then x minus 3y. That's the answer to that one. And then finally, question 8. Probably two main ways of doing this. I'll keep the 2x squared y here. This actually might be an easy enough one to do. I don't even think we have to move it around. So if I rewrite this one, it's 2xxy minus 2xz. I can just take out 2x out of both of them. That leaves over xy here. And it leaves over minus 1z here. And then on this one, if I take out minus 3, what I'll be left with is xy minus 1z. Let's multiply it back out. 2xy, that's one there. 2x by z minus 2xz. 3 by xy minus 3xy minus 3 by minus z. 2 minuses make a plus. Be plus 3z. And this is your answer. 2x minus 3 and xz minus 1z. And we're done. Sorry about the delay, guys. Pretty much half 4. So I'll send that out now.